This is Dr. Jen. And I think we got like a whole new room full of people compared to the last couple times that we've been in here, except for, I remember you last time. Yeah. Welcome back. But yeah, did everyone scan the QR code? Awesome, cool, because you'll be getting an email with the link to the ebook, and everything that's covered today will be in there too, so you don't have to remember everything. But you can also check it out on Cali for Fit's website too, or their YouTube channel if you want to watch the live version again. But yeah, Jen and I were both doctors of physical therapy. We've done quite a few workshops here at Cali for Fit already, and love working out with the Cali for Fit community. We're usually here every Monday at 6 a.m. So we're the early people. But anyways, today we're going to be continuing on our series on low back pain. Anyone in here have low back pain? Got a couple of them. Well, if you do got low back pain, we're going to pass out this deep blue. You can put some on it right now and just see how it feels. So we'll start with Phil. Go for it. But yeah, like I said, Dr. O, Dr. Jen, I'd like to hear from you guys though. So we're going to go around the room. We'll start right over here and just say your name and say anything you got going on or any goal you have.
My name is Michelle, and my goal is to begin focused. And today I'm going to learn how to, not better.
Awesome.
My name is Isabel, and my main goal, not fitness related, but to go job as a nurse.
Right on.
No, this is my first time. I've only been here for 2 months. Oh, okay. You'll get familiar with me. Well, good luck with you.
Awesome.
My name is Bill, and my goal is just to get in shape and a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
My name is Michelle, and basically I'm here because I want to get more fit. Even though I used to be in fit, lost track, want to get back in it again. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm Jen. I'll remember your name. I obviously here to get fit, stay fit. I don't have necessarily back problems, but I do have a little poochy belly. I don't know why. I feel like I work out and do my abs pretty good, pretty hard, but it never seems to go. But I know I have an excuse of +1, so I don't know which one it really is.
I'll show you today how to solve it.
But yes, so, and I'm aging, and so now I'm in my 50s, so now I'm seeing like, okay, this actually does matter. So,
Every little bit does.
yeah.
Well, welcome, Jen.
Hi, this is Susan. I'm here with Fit, and mostly here to have lower back pain and my hamstring and my quad is tight. Okay. I'm looking for it.
And what?
I have a weak core.
A weak core. Got it. Okay. We can help.
Well, my name is Angelica, and I'm here to get healthier. Yeah, to learn. Good to see you again.
My name is Mackenzie. I had really bad back problems about a year ago and then started going to chiropractor, which is good. And there's more I can do.
Well, welcome, guys. I'm excited to meet so many new faces.
Yeah.
My heart's so happy.
Absolutely. You guys are in the right place. We opened up our own physical therapy clinic about 6 months ago. I've been a PT for 7 years, and Jen's been like 15 years.
13,
Something like that. But it's been so awesome with the Cali for Fit community. It's because of you guys and the gym and Coach Tato and Jillian, the reason why we're thriving the way we are. And so we can't say anything but thank you guys all so much for being here, supporting us. Coach Tato, I've had the pleasure of helping him too with his back. If he was here, I'm sure he would tell you about it. He told the last group about it, which was pretty flattering. So anyways, without further ado, well, I'd like to first announce that we were subcontracting out of a gym in Point Loma for the past 6 months, and we're doing so well thanks to people like you, that we are opening up our own clinic location in Mira Mesa. And so we're starting that May 1st. Yep. Thank you. So it's going to be way better than it was before because we have our own equipment. Our garage is completely full and we get to choose. Yeah, we get to choose the type of training that people do instead of having to rely on the equipment of the gym that we are in. So it's going to be super awesome. And also too, Dr. Jen over here has been kind of in retirement mode as a PT for the past few years. She's seen a couple one-on-one clients here and there, and she gets to work on me often because I'm always hurting myself too. And so she is actually another announcement. She's coming out of retirement for a little bit. So she's opened up her schedule to see in a couple of patients when we first move in, so we can look at hiring our first PT and build a caseload for them too as well. So, and she's also doing these things called AromaTouch massages too, which we'll get into later over at the clinic. So without further ado, continue on the Freedom from Back Pain series, Core Stabilization. Here's Dr. Jen because it's her favorite thing to teach and she is coming out of retirement. So
It is my favorite. We've talked this here before. Have you heard any like older members talk about their T-Rex muscle? I know it's kind of like a random thing, but they used to I taught them how to do this transverse abdominis work and they called it the T-Rex muscle, right, Jillian? Yeah. So he couldn't remember transverse abdominis, so he just literally started calling it the T-Rex muscle. So now you guys are going to understand. Okay, so in the ebook, you guys are going to get this depiction of the abdominals, right? And it's going to explain to you what muscles there are. We're going to focus on the ones that kind of start in the front and work their way around back. We're not going to focus so much on the back muscles today, but for today's sake, there are 4 main muscles that we're going to understand and learn, and we're going to really spend almost all of our time on one muscle, the transverse abdominis, aka the T-Rex muscle. So the first muscle is the rectus abdominis. Who has ever seen, had, or wanted a six-pack? Right? Okay. So we all know what the six-pack muscle is. Most of the exercises we do are to strengthen the rectus abdominis. So when we do sit-ups, when we do crunches, mostly they target the rectus abdominis, which is your six-pack muscle. The cool thing about the six-pack muscle is it looks cool. That's it. Really, it helps us flex forward. As far as providing stability for our inner core and for our low spine, it does almost nothing. So we can spend all the time we want chasing a six-pack, but we're never going to get rid of that little pooch. We're never going to get the stability we need to prevent that low back pain from coming back. So what I'm going to teach you today is deeper and more important for improving our intra-abdominal pressure, which is going to improve the stability of our low spine, which is going to improve our ability to function in our workouts. So little story to give this some backing. I was in a really severe accident in 2009, 3 weeks into my physical therapy career. I was hit by a car in Mission Beach. I suffered a spinal cord injury, a brain stem injury, and all the other back injuries. So I have herniated discs, I have arthritis, I have all the things. I also spend half my life on my hands doing acrobatics and have zero limitations now. Well, I say 99% back to function. I still have some brain injury limitations, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't hop, skip, and a jump or a simple medication or a simple surgery that fixed anything. It was years of me prioritizing my health and getting back to health. I followed Western medicine for about 8 months, and I was taking about 30 pills a day and was completely disabled after my accident. I was miserable, and I was told I'd be on those medications for the rest of my life. I said, screw you, and I will find my own way. And I did. I worked really hard with finding stability. And one of the things that I focused on was my core stability. So after our rectus abdominis, I'm gonna come back to that story. Don't worry, I won't leave you cliffhanging. There's an internal and external obliques. So when they coach, any of the coaches say shoulder to the opposite hip, opposite knee, we're gonna strengthen our obliques. Anything where you're in a plank and you're dropping and lifting, we're gonna strengthen our obliques, right? So that's what Owen's showing you. They kind of layer on each other and they do all of that cross movement, but they also help to stabilize our intra-abdominal pressure and then therefore our back pain, our lower back, so they can help limit low back. But what we want to focus on is the muscle underneath that, the transverse abdominis. Who's seen a corset before? You've read a book from the old ages, right? The corset sucks everything in. Your transverse abdominis is your corset. Your transverse abdominis is what pulls everything in and tightens up our abdominals, helps to eliminate that pooch, bring everything in nice and tight. When we have an increased intra-abdominal pressure, or a stable intra-abdominal pressure, our low spine isn't going to be jumbling all over itself, right? So we want to find that stability and keep that stability. What's really interesting, this is a study. What?
Oh, well, I was gonna say, well, there wasn't too many hands about the core set. Has anyone seen weightlifters wearing those weightlifting belts when they're doing like really heavy squats and deadlifts and stuff like that? Well, essentially the transverse abdominis does the same thing, only it's on the inside instead of the outside. So weightlifters have those on. Basically what they're saying is I have a weak transverse abdominis and I'm pushing my rectus abdominis into it to stabilize my spine for me. So instead, we're going to teach you guys how to engage the innermost transverse abdominis, which acts as that weight belt where the abs actually contract and pull into it and then stabilize it for you.
Very well said. Okay, so a study published in the Journal of Biomechanics suggests that runners with deep core muscles are at a higher risk for developing low back pain, and unfortunately, most people's deep core muscles are not nearly as strong as they should be. There's also research out there showing that 95% of people who have low back pain do not engage their transverse abdominis upon transitions. So what does that mean? It means when you're standing up from a seat. It means when you're getting up out of bed. It means when you're doing exercises, when you're reaching for your purse in the back of your car and you throw your low back or your shoulder out, right? That means we're not stabilizing our transverse abdominis subconsciously, naturally, right? Now, here's a fun little fact about the transverse abdominis. It likes to go on vacation more than any of us ever get to. So as soon as your back hurts, your transverse abdominis says, oh boy, something's wrong. I'm going on vacation. And it stops firing, legit. Like it just stops functioning the way it should. So think about how many times you guys have had low back pain and then not re-engage your transverse abdominis. It's like, okay, well, my transverse abdominis has been on vacation probably for like years then, on and off, right? Because if we have pain, we're not firing those deeper abdominal muscles unless we're doing it consciously. Isn't that kind of silly, right? It's like, why does the body work that way? But there's a hack and we're going to teach you guys how to consciously fire this muscle. So back to my story. I was in severe chronic pain in my late 20s where I could like literally decide if I could like cook dinner and do dishes or do laundry. I could not do both in the same day. I was, waking up with a 4 out of 10 pain, going to bed with a 7 to a 9 out of 10 pain, significant life impacting pain. And I recognized that I wasn't firing my transverse abdominis. So when I realized this and I wanted to start firing it again, I literally had to do the exercises I'm going to teach you. And then eventually I worked up to where I could go for a walk. And on the walk, I would walk 1 block engaging my transverse abdominis. And then I had to take a break because I was exhausted. My transverse abdominis was exhausted and I had to take a block off, and then I could fire for a block and then I could take a block off. And then eventually I could walk like a mile without worrying about it. And I could fire my transverse abdominis the whole time, right? Our goal is to teach you the steps that you need to take so that you can fire your transverse abdominis through your entire workout at Cali for Fit, through your entire day. And you don't have to consciously think about it, but it does take time, right? So does that kind of all make a little bit of sense? Yeah. Okay, it's going to make more sense as we go through. One of the things that both Owen and I agree on is that in order to really fire the transverse abdominis, we need to first stretch out our hips, our hip flexors, because they can kind of be pulling our pelvis forward. Oh my God, his little noises are so funny. It can be pulling our pelvis forward. When it pulls our pelvis forward, it's actually harder to fire our transverse abdominis. So we're going to stretch our hip flexors to start. Okay, so let's all come up. And let's take our left knee forward and we can keep our right knee back. Okay, hands on your hips. So left knee forward, right knee back. And then just make sure your left foot is far enough forward that your knee is not passing your ankle. Yeah, so slide that forward a little, Michelle. Yeah, there you go. Same with you, Phil, come a little further forward. Good, 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 much better. Michelle, a little further forward with your left foot, not knee, foot. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. The other appendage. It's okay. Okay. So now I want you to, with your hands on your hips, to tuck your pelvis, tuck it like under and forward, like you're dumping your pelvis forward and then you're tucking it under. Just figure out how to move your pelvis. Some of us, that's easier than others, right? Some of us, we've done this before. Okay. So now I want you to relax your pelvis. And then I want you to just shift forward and see if you feel a stretch. Just notice what you feel in your right hip. Now come out of that and now tuck your tailbone under. So you're trying to make the space between your pelvis and the front of your ribs smaller. Can you guys feel that happening? Now with that tuck, do you feel a stretch in your right hip? Now try to shift a little forward. You can go a lot less further, right? So come back out, Michelle, and tuck more. tuck.
There
Yeah.
you go, yep.
Yeah. Do you
Tuck
feel
that
the stretch?
tailbone,
Yeah. So you
Feeling it?
shouldn't go
hold
far
that, and then
if
go
you're
a little
tucked.
bit in. It's like,
You feel it? Everybody's got a good stretch on that right side?
otherwise,
Okay.
you just kind of dump it forward like that and you get nothing.
Yep. So we want to really engage and get that stretch. If you feel like you need more, you can take your right hand up and reach up and over, and you'll feel it intensify that stretch, but don't lose that tuck. You guys feel it okay? Okay, this stretch, every human should do every day. Michelle, don't lean forward, reach back. Yeah, keep that tuck. Yeah, do you feel it
There you
now?
go. Nice.
Okay, good. Come on out of that and switch sides. So right leg forward, left leg back. Same thing. Try to just go forward without tucking your tailbone. You're like, I'm so flexible. Come back out. Now tuck your tailbone under. And then you'll see like, ooh, okay, now you can go just a little bit. Do we all feel it? Then you can maybe reach that hand up and back a little bit. Intensify that stretch. Got some good stretches? Okay. So come back to center. This stretch, I challenge you to do each and every day about 3 times for about 30 seconds each. So you can do it standing. So stand up and try it standing. Same thing, tuck the tailbone under, and then you can kind of lean away from it. You can lean forward and see if you can feel it. I like to keep my back toes up. So bend the front knee. Yeah. Tuck the tailbone under, bend into the front knee. Do you guys feel it? You're like, I'm really tight. I can see it in your face. It's okay. It's okay. Many of us are. Even though I have a lot of flexibility in my hip flexors, this stretch is still very intense. You know why? I spend most of my day sitting at a computer doing marketing and contacting my clients, right? I spend a lot of my day driving. Most of you guys can relate to like sitting, right? Switch sides and just see if you can feel it. So literally, if you can just get up a couple times a day and just do this stretch, this is going to make a big difference, because this is going to allow us to start opening up that pelvis so that we can then get that flexibility. Okay, do you guys all feel it? Okay, that's laid out for you. Come on back down. That's laid out for you in your ebook with some directions so you can remember how to do it, okay? You guys gonna stretch your hip flexors for me? Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. So we're going to learn to progress our core exercises here, but in order to do that, we need to learn how to fire our transverse abdominis. So that's gonna be funny, it's so funny. So our goal right now in the very beginning is going to be to fire this muscle through 3 sets of 10 and hold each set or each repetition for 5 seconds. Okay. So you hold it for 5 seconds and then you release. That's a repetition. We're going to try for 10 repetitions, right? Before I had you sit, come back up. I want you guys to try something. So before we do this, I'm like up and down, up and down. So standing here, just hands on your hips. I want you to just do a little squat and then come up. Okay, now I want you to be really honest with yourself. Did you feel yourself draw your belly button into your spine, fire your core, or do anything like that?
I did, but I lost it.
You lost it when you got down. Okay, that's good awareness. Okay, that's okay. This is what most people do, and this is why most people have low back pain, right? So we're going to teach you how to fire through those motions. Okay, so come back down now that we have that awareness. Okay, we're going to learn how to fire. Will you go get me a medicine ball? We're going to learn how to fire our transverse abdominis here. So I'm going to walk you guys through this and then we're going to all practice. No, the little one, so I can squeeze it between my knees. Or like the foam roll or a yoga mat, something I can squeeze between my knees. Yeah, anything that I can squeeze between my knees. I don't care. I just want something. Okay, so when you we're going to start laying down for this. And then we're going to learn to fire this corset muscle. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through it and then we're all going to walk around and I'm going to help you guys find this muscle. So oftentimes when we do sit-ups and things, we like push our belly out and we kind of do these crunches, right? Can you guys relate? And you've seen that happen? Like the middle of your belly will like ball up. Or as you get tired, you'll feel like your belly's puffing out more as you do your sit-ups. You guys have seen that in yourselves. That's your transverse abdominis and your obliques like fatiguing out on you and not being able to do anymore. Okay, so What we're going to think about instead is taking this inside muscle and pulling it in. So you think about taking your belly button and you're going to think about drawing it in and up towards your diaphragm, like towards your ribs, so that the low back, watch my low back when I do this. So I draw in and up. Do you see my low back kind of flatten just a little bit? Not like push into the mat. That's not what I want. So it's just this like gentle draw in and up. And then you'll see my abdominals come in. You see my waistline get smaller, right? Do you guys see that when I draw it in? Okay, it's not pushing out and my back going down. It's drawing in and then my abdominals like getting a little tighter and then my back like straightening out, okay? So when you first try to do this, I promise you that like maybe 2 of you are gonna be like, oh, that's easy. And the rest of you are gonna be like, I have no idea what this crazy lady's talking about. Don't worry, we're gonna help you. But some tricks on how to do it. You're gonna take your hands and kind of put them right above your hip bones and you're gonna draw your belly button in and your goal is to feel your abdominals go away from your fingers, to feel them get smaller and tighter, okay? That might be enough for you. Another thing you can think about is I'm gonna stop myself from going to the bathroom. I'm gonna draw my pelvic floor in and then you're gonna notice that same sensation of everything coming in and up. Maybe that's still not enough. Then you're going to take one of the rolled up yoga mats over there or like this foam roll, and you're actually going to squeeze. So watch what happens when I squeeze this foam roll. Do you see how my back did the exact same thing as when I was firing it consciously, right? My back got a little straighter, my abdominals got a little tighter. So sometimes when we're learning to fire this, we actually need this assistance, and we're going to do a set where we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we release. And I like to keep my fingers here because it helps me gauge where I am with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now we'll learn some progressions out of this, but before we can learn progressions, we actually have to learn how to fire this muscle. And I promise you, it's okay that it's challenging. It is like meant to be that way. I have a 6-pack and I literally still have to work on this muscle all the time because I have such like crazy low, like crazy back issues, right? So there's always reminders where I'm like, oh, my transverse abdominis is getting weak. I need to build up endurance. So let's lay on our backs. And now we're literally going to look like we're doing nothing, but we're doing a lot of work, I promise. And we're going to take our hands and put them kind of down into our little belly. And I want you to think about drawing that belly button in and up, okay? So we're going to come around and just make sure everybody can do this. Bend your knees. Everybody bend their knees, feet flat on the floor. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we're going to help you. I want you to see if you can hold it. If you're like, I have no idea, I'm not feeling it, like raise your hand, grab a mat. Okay, so let's start with this and just think about, let me come in here, cute nails. Okay, squeeze that mat. Yes, did you feel it with the mat squeeze now? Now try to hold it for a couple of seconds. Breathe while you hold it. That's the challenging part, Mackenzie. And then relax. Good. Better with the foam, the mat. Now eventually you'll be able to get rid of the mat, but sometimes it takes a little while. Yes. And so what it is it's teaching you what it feels like so you can start to do it. Okay. Are you getting it? Relax. Okay. Try again. Okay. So now you're just moving your pelvis. Yeah. I don't want you moving the pelvis. Do you need it, Mackenzie, still? You feel like you can do it now without it? Squeeze the mat. Okay, relax. Relax. Good, squeeze the mat again. Good, don't move the pelvis. Don't worry about the pelvis. Relax, relax, relax. Just gently squeeze the mat. Good, do you feel that fire a little bit now? Yeah. Okay, do you feel how gentle that is? And now you're not consciously moving your pelvis, but it is shifting just a little bit. But before you were kind of like moving your pelvis. We don't want that. So practice with this a few times and see if you can get it to sink in. Okay, how's it going, Isabel? Relax. Totally relax. Okay, fire again. Good. Now breathe. Can you breathe while you hold it? And then relax. Try to do 10 of them. That's really good. Did Owen help you, Monica? How are you feeling? You feel like you got it? Let me see. Relax. Do it again. So like 1/8 of that, way less. So come, hold on. Okay. So relax. Okay, now squeeze the bolster. Okay, so do you feel it going and it's pushing out? I don't want that. Come right here.
That's it.
Think about trying to stop going to the bathroom. Just a gentle draw
Okay,
in.
so go ahead and push up again, push up.
Pull. Yeah, yeah. Do you feel that pull in a little bit more?
This way, yeah.
Good. Now do that while you squeeze the bolster.
Slowly lower,
Less.
slow it down.
Don't move your pelvis. Just let it happen.
Hold that.
So gently squeeze.
And then left.
Yeah. Do you feel it?
And then go again.
It's little. That's the key. Okay. So try to get that little and try to do a few repetitions of it. How's it going for you?
All right.
Okay. Relax.
Feel it? Okay.
Okay. Try to fire.
Now do it on your own. Feel it? Boom.
Relax. Good. Don't worry about your pelvis. Try to fire again.
Feel it kinda come
Good.
up
Can you breathe?
towards the chair.
Yeah. Okay. So because you're pushing out right now. Hang on.
Cool. I'll let you make sure. I think you got it though. Okay, let's check you out.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
So go ahead and
Right,
squeeze.
like right in here. Okay.
Good. Did you feel how when you squeeze the mat, it pulled in a little more?
So you're gonna try and-
So put your hands right here so you can feel it. Relax.
Trying to button up the tight curve.
Good. Do it again.
And with-
So don't worry up here. None of this moves. So right now you're going to bring it in. So let your ribs stay. Keep this here so you can feel it. Relax. Gently squeeze the mat.
Okay, ready?
Did you feel it? Relax. Good. Gently squeeze the mat.
Good. Okay.
Good. Did you feel it draw in a little bit? And now breathe. You feel how you can breathe while you do that gentle?
Yeah.
Good. Practice that a few times.
And
Okay.
try and push your
How's it
abs
going,
out
Christine?
like-
I don't know,
like,
just
not
doing
stomach,
stuff.
your abs.
You're like, I feel like I'm doing something. I don't know what it is. Okay.
Slowly
Relax.
forward. Good.
Good.
Relax.
Fire.
Good.
Good. Can you breathe?
There you go. Okay, now
Yes.
push up again.
Breathe for
Push
me.
up this way.
Good. That's really good.
Slowly
You're doing a
forward.
great job. Okay. I heard him say maybe Jen can help you.
And then
Is that we're stuck?
Good. Right
I
there.
think so.
Okay. Now it's
Okay,
just-
relax.
Got it.
Only gauge.
Try to relax. Relax,
Yeah,
relax.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, gently
Feel
draw
that?
in. Okay, so do you feel how when you're drawing and it's pushing out?
Mhm.
That's not what we want. We want to draw in, right? Hold on. Hold on.
We're about to-
Right there.
Kind of right where I'm pushing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it less painful when
Relax.
when I'm not pushing on?
go ahead, fire.
A little bit?
Okay, hands in.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like.
Okay, relax. Squeeze the foam roller.
And like, what kind of? is it? What's it feel
Relax.
like to you?
Squeeze the foam roller.
Kind of like a sensation. or
Do you feel it draw
sharp,
in when you squeeze the foam roll?
or-
Yeah.
So that's different than what you were doing, right? Practice it. Okay, how do we all feel? Do we all feel like we're getting it? You feel like it's the hardest thing you've ever done without moving your body? Yeah? You feel good about it? Okay, good. How did we feel back here? We're getting more comfortable with it? Okay, we're gonna learn some progressions. Phil, I didn't check in with you because Owen did. Are you good?
Yeah. Can you check to see if I'm doing it right?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting tired.
Yeah, relax everything. Good. Okay, now gently, John. Okay, so do you feel all this moving? When this is all moving, it means you're trying to incorporate your diaphragm because you're getting tired. So, can I steal this? Okay. So you were right. You're probably getting tired. Good. Go ahead and draw in. Relax. Squeeze this. Good. Did you feel the difference when you squeeze this versus drew in? Like all this went when you drew in, this and this didn't go when you squeeze this? Okay. So you're just probably getting tired with it, and that's okay. Like, I mean, literally, guys, I spent like months just trying to figure out how to fire the muscle. And then I was able, after my spinal cord injury, then I was able to walk for a block and that's it, right? So it takes time. It takes time. And then take a break. So since you're getting a little tired. Okay. So we're going to go through some progressions here in a second. So we do some things in the clinic that are a little more like scientific of how to fire this muscle, if that makes sense. We use like blood pressure cuffs and have you try to create a certain amount of pressure and things to create that stability. So we do some different things in the clinic to make it a little more like specific. Okay, babe. We're gonna come right back because if you guys are feeling like you need to keep working in that same spot, we're going to have more time to keep working in that same spot. But I want to give the next progression for those of you that are feeling like you can try the next progression, because I want you all to feel to the point where you're like, oh, wow, that's hard. Right. And some of you, this first one is hard and that's completely okay. Like I literally have to go back to these exercises on a regular basis. But once we get, so the goal here is to learn what it feels like to gently engage the transverse abdominis. So we all at least fired that muscle, even if it was like one rep. I showed you how you could squeeze the block or the bolster or the foam roller, right, to get that, or feel like you're stopping yourself from going to the bathroom. The next thing you're going to see in the ebook is a progression where we do more on the back, and then we go to tabletop, and then we go to standing. Okay, so we're going to go to this next progression on our back, and I'm going to show you how this looks. So, excuse me, handsome. Okay, so we are on our backs. And we're getting that same engagement. So I'm consciously here firing, and I'm like, okay, I've got it. And now I feel like I can hold it, and I know that I can hold it while I move. So my next thing is going to be to like lift a heel and then the other heel. I know that sounds silly, but wait till you try to hold this muscle while you lift a heel. And then you will be like, that's not silly anymore. So I have this muscle fired. Then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to march. I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 of marching, and I'm going to hold this the whole time. And I'm also going to be able to breathe, and I'm going to be able to talk the whole time I'm doing it, right? One of the things I'm seeing a few of you do is when you fire, you go, right? And it's like this suck in and the diaphragm lifts. And what that is the diaphragm trying to pull in, and you actually can't breathe anymore because you're using your diaphragm to stabilize your intra-abdominal pressure. So if you can't fire and breathe separately, you're engaging the wrong muscles, and that's okay. We just have to come back and focus on it, right? So we're here, we can go to marching. If we're like, okay, marching's good, then we're gonna add in opposite arm and leg. And we're gonna progress to that, 3 sets of 10. I'm firing the whole time if I'm doing these exercises. Now, maybe I can get to this point where I can heel lift, but I can only heel lift like 3 times on each side before I need to take a break. And then I can fire again, and I can do 3 more on each side, right? You see what I'm saying? You don't need to go from 0 to 100. It might be like, okay, I got a heel lift in on each side, but the second one, I can't hold it anymore. Like you had said, Isabel, where you did the squat and you're like, I held it in the beginning, and then at the bottom of my squat, I lost it, right? So now it's finding that awareness and knowing how far to go in the exercise. Okay, so does this progression make sense? So maybe your goal right now is to do another set of 10 of just the stable transverse abdominis, okay? Maybe you're doing it with a bolster or a foam roller or something. Maybe you're gonna try the heel raise, and if you do the heel raise and you're like, that was pretty easy, then you're gonna do the foot, like the whole knee lift, and then you can do the alternating arm. But progress, but only progress as far as you can go with stabilizing. Does that make sense? So let's all go back and find our happy place for right now. So then I know you can go help Jen again. I know you guys were working on that, but no, you're fine, Jen. Okay, so yeah, good. And you're breathing. Good job, Monica. You got that nice and fire. You do. You're doing amazing. Add the arm in. You can do the arm. Yeah. Do you feel like you're able to stabilize it while you do that?
Yes.
Good. Great job. How do you feel? Can you do the whole range with the knee? Yeah, you're doing good. Good job. And you're breathing. Yay. Breathing makes me happy. Yay. And it's okay, guys. It's not like a bad thing. It's those of you that are still staying on your back practicing this initial movement, I'm super proud of you because you're aware of where your limitation is and where you need to be working. And that's amazing. That's amazing. You're good. You're breathing really good. Try the alternate arm. Add the arm in. Now it challenges the brain because you got to figure out what.
Holding it. Yeah.
Okay, Mackenzie, how are we feeling? Do you feel like you're good? Yeah, that's okay. But now think about all the things we do all day long without firing this, right? Like this is so hard to fire just on our backs. So now no wonder the back pain makes a little more sense, right? So you can crack it and pop it all you want, but if you don't stabilize it, you just need to keep cracking and popping it. And I mean, I see a chiropractor once a month too. No judgment on chiropractors, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And I do that same. I cycle through it. I like your shoes, by the way. It's nice and slow, Phil. Can you breathe? Are you breathing? Good. Yeah, you're like, okay, now pat your belly and rub your head. I'm just kidding. It was a joke. You know that thing from like being a kid and you're like, ah! Okay, Michelle, how you doing? Don't push so hard, just gentle here. You should just feel it draw in. Do you feel it draw in? Yeah. It's hard, right? Yeah. It's humbling. This is the most humbling exercise I've ever taught anyone. Because people are like, I'm so fit. I'm like, can you fire your transverse abdominis? Is it feeling better?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like you
I
can
don't
do
even know
all
what I'm
these
trying to do.
exercises.
I don't know.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is like, I've spent literally like multiple hours with the same patient trying to get this muscle to fire because it's hard. It's hard.
And I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, relax for me. Totally relax. Okay. And now gently draw in. Okay, good. Come back. Do like 1/3 of that. That's it. That first little bit when it draws in, that's all I want you to do. Just that. That's it. Good. Now breathe. Hold it. Hold it. Can you breathe? Can you talk to me and hold it? Yeah. You are. You are. You lost it a little bit there, but you are. Good. Keep. There you go. Did you feel it refire? Yeah.
Well, barely.
Yeah. That's all it is.
I need you to sit here till I can keep knowing the sensation, right?
So,
Like-
and that's why it's with our patients, a lot of times we send them home with a blood pressure cuff that they put under their back where they're looking at a gauge and they're like, I'm staying in this range, I'm staying in this range. So they know they're firing it.
Okay.
So we do like other level things that are not just like, we just
So
didn't
do I need this?
take it
See what
out.
I can do without it. I don't know. All right, what am I supposed to do now?
So you're gonna gently draw in like you're stopping yourself. That's it. That's it. Good. Draw in again and hold. Now hold it. Now can you breathe? Good. Keep holding it. Now relax. Good. Fire it again and hold it. So you fire it and then you fire up here. So I don't want you to get to this point. So relax. Fire it. That's it. That was it. Did you feel the difference?
No.
Where it was just the bottom? I felt it. Okay.
All right, let me
Relax.
focus.
Fire again. Okay. Good. Now relax and do it again.
Yes.
And do it again.
Feel that's kind of hard to hold? Okay, now you
That's
can
it,
push
Jen.
Push and hold. Now go ahead.
Good. Now try to hold it and try to lift your right heel off the ground while you hold
There
it.
you go.
So relax.
Oh, the heel.
Yeah, just your heel.
There you go.
Good. Just the heel. And now the left heel. Good. You lost it. Did you feel it? Put your hands right here so you can feel it. This is the easiest thing to like feel this way. That's why I still do it this way. Okay, good. Draw in.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Good. And then hold it. Draw it and hold it. And now lift.
So I'm drawing it in from here though.
Yeah.
I keep thinking like,
It's gonna go the whole thing.
okay.
You're doing better. Good. Fire it in.
There you go.
And now heel
Yeah.
up.
Nice.
Good. And then the other heel, and then take a break. Good. Do that a few times. That's it. That's it. You're getting it. Good. How are we feeling? Are we feeling like this is making slightly more sense in our bodies? Christine, how you feeling? Ish, right? You're like, it's kind of working, right? It's very weird because no one has ever taken the time to teach you this. Like, I don't understand why this isn't something that we learn, why this isn't, but I don't think people understand it. I know so many physical therapists who don't spend time with their patients on this. So they have low back pain patients and they don't spend, I will spend literally, I was saying to Jen, I'll spend hours with the same patient working these drills, getting this muscle firing properly. Because if you can't get this muscle to fire, I don't care what else I teach you, your back isn't going to be stable, right? This is the key to our low back stability. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys another progression. Some of you guys might feel like you can move up to this, and some of you might try it and just to realize that it's a little too difficult at this time for right now. So now we can take the same exercises and we can come to quadruped or hands and knees. So we're getting nice and engaged, just like we do in our push-ups where we're lifted up in our chest. So we're not dumping into our shoulders, lifted up in our chest. And then we're going to try and fire those muscles now without the stability of the floor behind us. So do you see my belly draw in? Here.
Almost like a very slight tuck too of the tailbone, very slight, not a lot, but just kind of see it kind of rotate backwards just a tiny bit.
Do you guys see that just a little bit? Okay, so now I'm going to try to hold that, and then I'm going to try to extend and release. Extend and release. And then I might be tired, so I might take a break. Okay. And then I'm going to draw back in. And then maybe if I feel like I'm progressing good enough with it, I can do alternate and then come back. Okay. But you can see, even for me, it's a challenge to keep that in that good position the whole time. Do you see that? Okay.
You able to show them what it looks like without engaging?
Yes. So if I wasn't if I wasn't engaging, or let's say I engage and then I lose it. Do you see what happens with my back, right?
Like an arch, and then one side will droop down.
Yeah, so like the hip will drop, where you can see if I'm stable, I'm nice and lined, right? And now let's say I get here and I lose it, you see what happens? Okay, so that's what we want to kind of pay attention to. And now if you're doing the quadruped, maybe you grab a partner and call each other and say like, Monica, your hip just dropped, come back in, that's too far. Because, right, so you might be able to like get the knee up, but not extend it. And that's okay, right? Find your progression with it. So if you guys want to give that a try, go ahead and give it a try. Partner up so you can like watch each other's hips. Okay. Christine and Jen, you guys want to partner up?
There you go.
Okay. You guys? Oh, perfect. And then do you ladies want to partner up and help each other? And then you ladies want to partner up and help each other? Okay. So you guys, Monica and Isabel, you guys are good? It's hard, right? So alternate legs still. Don't just do one side and burn out that side. Bring it in and switch. There's something to be said about the switching. What are you doing, handstand? Good catch. Okay, keep that drawn in. Okay. And then put the knee back down and switch sides. Switch sides. Do you guys have any questions? I like this teamwork back here. This is great. How do you guys feel? Those of you on your hands and knees are probably like, don't talk to me, I'm focused. How did it feel, Christine? Good? Feel like you got it? Good? Yeah.
Let's check her out. All right. Let's go, Jen.
This is beautiful. And Helga, you're doing great. Did you try it? Okay, let's switch partners if we haven't switched yet. Okay, do you see her arching? Come in, and I want you to draw in and up. Don't extend the knee so far. So fire in, and now maybe this knee lifts. That's it, come back down. Because did you feel yourself start to lose it there? Okay, pay attention to that. Fire up, lift, and then lower. Good, fire in, good. And then lower. Do you feel the difference there, Michelle? I do. Yeah, good. Where's your accent from? South Africa. Oh, so fun. I never can like pick a South African accent out when someone speaks South African, like in their accent. But then once they tell me, I'm like, I knew that. Because it's not English, like I know that. And then, but it's a fun accent.
I would say as well, like what I would get confused. Yeah, 90% of the people, 99 if I'm being accurate, is the worst thing from
Australia?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful accent.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, so sometimes we need to do less movement to get the stability. Yeah, that's it. Do you feel how you start to kind of get that arch? Good, good. Keep practicing. That's good. You guys are great. You guys are like the crushing it, the two of you. How's it going over here, Michelle? Phil's got your back. Okay, so too far. So you look like you stay okay when you lift the knee, and then when it gets too high, do you feel your back arch?
Yeah.
Okay, try it again and just do less. That's the hardest thing for us to do in our society is less, right? So keep that drawn in.
That explains why I was arcing too.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like used to like kicking out. I just feel like,
Yeah. And you're basically just going like this on your low back, pound, pound, pound with no control, because we don't know any better, right? And until we know better, we can't do better. And that's why they like to do these workshops with us, because we get to keep you guys in your workouts.
Yeah.
Like that's the key to fitness, is not getting fallen out with a back injury or an ankle injury, or a knee injury, right? And sometimes it takes a little time working with like someone like Owen or I to like get the stability and get the proper positioning, and and other times you're able to do it on your own, right? It's like it's a fun game, but not really. It's a lot of work. Okay, like 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna come back and try one more positioning. Michelle, draw that in. Get that arch out of your back. Draw it up. No, it's supposed to stay. So draw it in and up. And keep that. Yeah. What? Isn't it weird? Like you're gonna be sore from like not doing anything perceived. Like, but here's the thing, everything we're learning right now is going to make your waistline smaller, your abdominals stronger, right? Like all of it more than any sit-ups. We can do sit-ups all day long. You're just gonna get a six-pack. That doesn't do the end of it. Okay, let's come back and let's all stand up. So we're gonna try and progress this to standing now. So hands on our hips. And then I like to close my eyes for this because it's like, I just feel funny. But so if you want to, you can. If you feel like you're gonna fall over, you don't have to. But I want you to draw, imagine the floor behind you and draw your belly in and up so that you can get that same firing in the standing position. Okay, now relax it. Good, now try again. Draw it in and up. Do you guys feel it? You'll notice I always have my hands here so I can feel it. Okay, so now if you have it standing, I want you to try and just maybe march a leg and then the other leg and just kind of like a low march in place and see if you can hold it. He thinks you guys look silly. He's so funny. Okay, do you guys feel like you can hold it? Okay, now can you do it without feeling like a robot? That'll take you a little time. Okay, now I want you to fire it. So fire your transverse abdominis, AKA T-Rex, and then I want you to try to squat and see how far you can go. So Isabel, I want you to pay attention when you lose it, and then when you lose it, come out. Good, remember when we squat back, hips back, hips back. Yeah, right, you're gonna look at squats all different now. Remember when we did our first core stabilization workshop? It like changed the game at Cali for Fit. Everybody was like, I can't go further, my core.
Yeah, and I remember when I went to Coach Tyson for something like that, I'm like, okay, we're gonna fire your T-Rex muscle, and you just saw, boom, solid. I was like, wow, that was easy. He's like, yeah,
I taught him.
I was like, that's cool.
Okay, so I want you guys to think about in your head all of the exercises you do. Like, okay, think of like a lunge. Can you fire your transverse abdominis? Think of a push-up. Can you fire your transverse abdominis? So here's the thing I'm going to ask you guys to do. Because Cali for Fit's goal is not to get you like quick fit and then like have an easy fix and be done with it. They want to get you fit for life, right? They want longevity, and they want, you know, one of the things that I love about this gym is like some of me and some of the original people have been working out here for years. And there's people that have been working out here for far more than I have. But what I want you guys to think about is like, even try coming to like a plank position on your knees and firing that muscle. And then think about how many times you've done push-ups up here and you've looked like this, right? Because you can't fire it. So if you can fire that and do your push-ups, more power to you. But I want you to think about, can you fire it? And maybe for a couple of weeks, you have to come down to your knees and get that good stability, right? Maybe for a couple of weeks, you go a little less deep in your squats, right? But you do better form. Maybe for a couple of weeks, you do like a little smaller of a lunge, but you do better form. Do you see what I'm saying? Like sometimes less is more if it's done with proper form and it's done. So maybe when you do an AMRAP at the end of the workout, as many reps as you can, right? Instead of rushing through them as fast as you can with crummy form, maybe taking your time to do a few less reps, but a little better form so that you're getting more out of them, right? Does that make sense? You guys feel like you have some kind of awareness, even if it's like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but my body's not doing it because now it's tired sort of thing? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. What questions do you guys have on your transverse abdominis? On firing this, on any movements? Yes.
Should we try even walking and do everything on it?
Yes. Okay. Great question. So you guys can relax. So one of the things that I have in the ebook that I want you guys to look at is the next step. The goal is to practice firing this muscle continuously for the time being. Eventually, as we practice, we begin to fire the transverse abdominis subconsciously. So remember at the very beginning when I mentioned 95% of people with low back pain don't fire their transverse abdominis upon transitions. Literally like getting up from the toilet, don't fire the transverse abdominis, like anything, right? What's going to happen as you become conscious about this and you think about it, and you're thinking about it when you go to stand up from your chair at work, when you get out of your car, when you get out of bed in the morning. I get out of bed like an 80-year-old. I roll to my side and swing my legs up so that I don't hurt my back, because it's just not worth it. I want to be able to have my back good to do fun things, right? The more you're consciously thinking about these things, the more the subconscious is going to pick it up. And then we're going to be able to do it subconsciously. Okay. So eventually, like, I don't think at one time during my entire Cali for Fit workout to fire my transverse abdominis, because I just fire my transverse abdominis the whole time I'm working out. If I have low back pain for a little bit though, I have to go back to being conscious about it for a little bit. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So, some of the things I wanted to say to you guys, I already said kind of like how we're going to do less with better form, less depth, less repetitions with better form in our workouts for a little bit. Before your workout, take a few minutes to lay on your back and consciously engage this muscle. Just shoot for a set of 10. Okay. And if you do that, if you get here just a few minutes early and do that, even if you sit in your car and say, okay, transverse abdominis on the way, you're running late and you're like, we're in the game today. Like, you are here, we're working out, and you get it to start firing, it's going to start working more subconsciously in your workouts. Does that make sense? How we get to consciously welcome it to the party, and then subconsciously it'll stay with us. Okay. Throughout your exercise routine, bring your attention to your TA, like pay extra attention specifically during squats, lifting, planks, and core work. Okay. And then remember, like I said, whenever you have an injury or back pain, it is important to start at the beginning. Think of it this way: your TA goes on vacation when you have pain and you have to ease back into work. Okay. So when we have a bad back day, we're going to need to be a little more patient the next day with our transverse abdominis and what we do. Okay. That doesn't mean don't move. It just means be more conscious with our movements. Does that answer your question? That was a very good question. Thank you for segueing me into the end of because I almost forgot. Any other questions? What other questions do you guys have? Did I miss anything, Coach? Feel good? Cool. Owen, take it away, Doc.
So keep working on the transverse abdominis, and maybe in like a year or something, you can do it instead of just standing up. You can do it on your hands and do a handstand.
We like to handstand.
Yeah, we like to handstand. And the interesting thing enough, when you're in a handstand, you have to engage it. It doesn't not engage. Does anyone want to see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very excited. He put his parallettes out so he can handstand for you.
Here's my stomach right now. Feeling this. I'm burning the beach. But when I'm up here, it's just like this. And when I go up into the handstand, you'll watch it from all the way in, just like this. So.
We really do like our cake topper for our wedding was us handstanding.
So see how it's engaged?
But like, he has no choice but to fire it.
I have no choice. If I dump it out, I lose my hand.
Right. And that's how you want to get to the point with like your squats and stuff. You want it to be like, you want to know when it falls out, and you want to be like, oh, I'm back. I got my conscious awareness. Right. So that's what we want to focus on. But if anybody ever wants to play with handstands, we'll play with you. It's fun. Okay. Do you want to tell them
About everything we got going on?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so to not only celebrate you guys being here, like I said, thank you so much for being here. It's because you guys that we're doing so well in thriving. And to celebrate Dr. Jen coming out of retirement, we got kind of a deal going on at our new clinic over in Mira Mesa. It is a total body diagnostic and treatment package, which is complete with a full deep dive into anything that you got going on. It could be multiple body parts. What we'll do is I'll be taking measurements. We'll see what's wrong, what's going on, how to treat it. We'll do probably 3 to 5 hands-on treatment techniques and get you feeling good. And you should be feeling better than when you actually first walked in the door. And also too, I'll be giving, I prescribe a custom home exercise program where I take videos of you doing the exercise that I want you to do, usually about 2 or 3, to maintain that feeling good afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then also too, we're going to sweeten the deal a little bit more. Jen is going to offer a free aroma touch massage on top of the treatment package. So usually the treatment package costs $250, but if you sign up today, it'll just be $197.50, and then
no, it's like
a free,
179.
and then a free, even better. Jen's correcting me here.
Because
Not $197.50.
we're doing
so
$197.50 for everybody, but since you guys are Cali for
since
Fit, you guys
are
get
Cali for Fit, it's
$179.
And what that is going to save you too, as well as getting the free aroma touch massage, which is a $100 value. Basically, you almost get 2 for 1. It's
Yeah.
almost like 50% off, 50% value, $150 free, basically.
So if you guys have, oh, that's right, I gave you one. Yeah.
I was practice, and you just feel so relaxed. It's got the essential oils that kind of just add that extra element, and you go in and you're all hyped up and like,
Jillian was like, I was like, how you doing? She's like, I'm a little anxious, a little stressed. And I was like, cool, lay on the table. And then at the end, she's like, I feel good. It was cute. So
And you don't have to get them in the same day. So you can do the physical therapy session one day and then schedule the aroma touch massage different days.
totally up to you guys. But yeah, so let us know if you have something you want to come in for, you want us to help you out with. There's no requirement after that first session, but what we do is we go over a treatment plan with you if we feel like it's the right fit and decide on what we do from there with you guys. So we would love to see you guys in the gym and keep supporting our Cali for Fit family. And then we have to figure out what our next workshop is. So we'll let you guys know.
I think we haven't done anything on shoulder yet.
I'd love to see one on shoulder.
Okay, maybe shoulder. Okay, we'll get the date booked.
Perfect, sounds
We-
good.
Cool.
Shoulder pain workshop.
Yeah. You're like, do you feel a little like overwhelmed, but also helped? This one's a hard one, right?
It's a tough one.
Hold each other accountable when you see each other in your workouts. Like, know that this is like a journey that is going to change the rest of your life with your stability of your core and your back and everything you do. Okay.
Yeah, if you see someone in a plank and they're like this, and you saw them at this workshop, go, hey, T-Rex muscle. And then they go, okay, I got it.
And Chris and Jay will know what the T-Rex muscle is too. So we'll coach that down. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we're here if you guys want to take advantage of that special. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and yeah.
Thank you to Dr. Jen and Dr. Owen for this amazing workshop. You know, their whole model fits right in with the Cali for Fitness theme of just living healthy lifestyle and active and putting the pieces in place for longevity and teaching you how you can do these exercises and run with it for the rest of your life. So it's awesome to have them and all of you guys, lots of new faces in here, which is amazing. It's something that we do monthly, always on different themes. So, you know, sounds like shoulders will be a good fit for the next one. And then if there's anything that you would like to see, you can put in the suggestion box. And you know, I have the power.
She is
And
the
so
boss.
We'll get something put together because our whole goal with these is to just have you be able to be pain-free, to be able to have that mobility and that flexibility, happy joints, happy muscles, and be able to just rock your workouts here at the gym and just use that for healthy activities.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for coming.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your holiday weekend.
Oh yeah. Happy Easter.
I know.
Happy Passover. Happy. It's like all three. Happy Ramadan. All three in the same week, right? First time in 30 years. I found that out today. Yeah, first time in 30 years, all three fall in the same week. Crazy. So happy
Everything.
all the things. Thanks for coming, guys. Here you go, my love.